Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Now that the 28 years later, the Bone Temple Trailer 2 has been out for a few days now, I've had time, and I'm sure you guys have had time to kind of digest what we've seen. And going from what I've seen online is, and from what I've saw from the trailer and from what I've broken down, is I don't think Aaron Taylor-Johnson's Jamie will feature much, if at all, in the Bone Temple. It almost serves as a gateway between 28 years later and the eventual and hopeful third movie in this franchise. I think Danny Boyle and Alex Garland already said that part 3 is not confirmed yet. They need to rely on the success of 28 years later and the Bone Temple. I think when the filming began for 28 years later and the Bone Temple, because they were filmed back to back, we saw that Cillian Murphy was coming back in some capacity, but we didn't know how much he would feature in the movies. And because he didn't feature at all in the first movie in this mini trilogy, we know that he's going to feature in the Bone Temple, but we don't know how much he's going to feature in it. Now, initially, it was supposed to be the end of the movie, the end of the Bone Temple. He would appear, similar to Jack O'Connell's character Jimmy, how he appeared at the end of 28 years later, is how Cillian Murphy is supposed to reprise his role as Jim in the Bone Temple. However, I think with the moderate success of 28 years later, we might see Jim introduced maybe even the middle of the Bone Temple, because we want to build this character up again, and I don't think it's the best idea just to show us Jim at the end of the Bone Temple, because that only gives us a full movie with Jim in the last movie in this trilogy. And who knows, if this movie is not successful, because there is a chance, if it's not successful, we're just really going to see Jim at the end of the Bone Temple and that's it. I don't think that's the right way to do it. However they do it though, he is going to feature, but how is he going to feature? What's his story? Where has he been for the last 28 years? There has been numerous endings to 28 Days Later in 2002. One of the endings being he was infected. Now from then until now, we know that some people can be infected, but just not show the symptoms of that infection, as you saw in 28 Weeks Later. So they could have characters that have that type of infection. I think they're also alluding to the baby from 28 years later who was born in 28 years later. Doesn't look like an infected, but it could still have the infection, the virus that could be spreading amongst the people on Holy Island. And it's possible that Jim has that infection too. He's just asymptomatic, where he's not showing the symptoms, but he could be very much infected. I genuinely don't know how they're going to reintroduce Jim though, because he has been away for so long. I don't see him coming back as this powerful leader that everyone's following, because he wasn't that type of character in the first movie. Of course, things can change within 28 years, but why would he be a leader and nobody else be a leader after 28 years? Yes, he's been through a lot, but I'm sure other characters that we've never seen before have also been through a lot. So if he is some sort of saviour or leader, then we have to see a build-up of that. And I don't think we're going to see a build-up in one movie, and that would be the third one. If we're going to see some sort of saviour or leader in Jim, then we have to see him a little bit earlier. So if he is going to be something like that, then hopefully we see him more in the Bone Temple other than just the end of the movie. What are your guys' thoughts though? From what we've saw in the behind the scenes shots of Cillian Murphy as Jim, he doesn't look like a leader. He looks like someone that's just been hiding out for 28 years, and maybe the Jimmy gang bump into him and they're like, you can join us or you can die. So we might see those types of interactions in the Bone Temple leading into something bigger in the third movie. But again, what are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think Jim is going to be a leader? Is he going to be a saviour? A bad guy? Maybe he's going to be a bad guy. He's been through an awful lot, of course. So maybe he's had enough and he's flipped a switch and he's going nuts. Who knows, maybe he's the biggest bad guy and the Jimmy gang turn good to try and defeat Jim and whoever he's with, or possibly Jim is infected. But as always, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!